Hello, friends. Welcome back to Darling Television. I am Rotimi Johnson Ojasope. Let us talk about the shameful outcome of government delegation to the US to go and defend or dissuade the American government about CPC, Country of Particular Concern designation for Nigeria, and to confirm to the American government that there were no cases of genocide against Christians in this country. In my last broadcast about this case, I talked about how confirmation of Christian genocide can be done just by going on Google search. I also talked about various evidences from NGOs, individuals, other government agencies outside Nigeria, what they have done researches and interviews, even by CNN, by BBC, by Al Jazeera, on cases of genocide in Nigeria. But Nigerian government, in their own wisdom, have sent a powerful delegation of high-ranking government officials to go to the United States to go and lie about what is evident to even non-Nigerians. A lot of countries, their parliament, their government agencies are discussing issues of genocide in Nigeria. Now, we cannot lie about genocide. The debate is whether it was targeted about Christians. Now, a government that has ojuti, a government that has sense of responsibility will know that whether against Christian or generally, it is a shameful thing that for decades there have been cases of killings, strategic killings, continuous killings of anybody, any set of people in this country without solution coming from the government. But our government, shameless, have gone to the US to go and counter that. How do you counter that without admitting that there are killings? How do you counter that without admitting the particular religion of those who are killing, these extremists? Are you going to say that there are no killings? Or you're going to say that these are Christians that are also killing Christians? The same way any sane Christian will not deny the fact that truly there are Muslims being killed by these extremists. That's the same way any normal reasoning Christian will also know that a lot of Christians have been killed because of their faith. In this mid belt, in the middle belt, and in the northwest part of this country. It has been so bad, so bad. Personally, I've encountered a lot of Christians, a lot of pastors that have had to relocate back to the southwest because of religion, because of religious killings. So many of these people that I have met personally, they only escaped with their lives, all their properties gone. I have instances. I have been to Akwanga on pathfinding visits. I've been to Lafia. I've been to Abuja asking questions from Christian leaders to confirm this as far back as 2009, 2010. Now, Nigerian delegates now went to the US to go and lie, to go and humiliate themselves. Unknown to them, a lot of Nigerians, they post evidences and tag Donald Trump on his social media handles. They tag notable congressmen in the US on this information. You just need to go online. It was a disgraceful and shameful thing that Nigerian government will say. What would they prove? You now go and prove that, we agree that there are killings, and these people are Christians, but they are not being killed because they are Christians. So why are they being killed? And why has government after administration have not been able to stop the killing? Some say, the US too, there are killings. Yes, there are. In fact, the record of killings in the US is mind-blowing. But are people targeted for killing by Americans because they are Christians or because of a particular religion? And is the government not doing something about it? Government keep doing something about it. But what has this government or previous administration, what have they been doing about the killings? In the last 1 week, as if to challenge the American government, the killing went haywire. Even in regions where there were it was not this bad. In the last 1 week, it has gone very bad. Just yesterday, in a community in Niger State, according to the reports, over 100 students were whisked away by bandits. I think it is wrong to even call them bandits. The appropriate thing is terrorists. What is bandits in this? This is terrorism. And they are challenging the international community, contrary to what the delegations from Nigeria. Imagine delegation from Nigeria are in the US, and while they are in the US, another church was attacked in Kwara State, and 38 people were whisked away, while some suffered injury and were killed. While they were trying to defend that, the earlier we got seated and faced the reality, the better. A problem you keep living in denial of, you can never come up with appropriate solution. And I think that is why it has remained up to this point. I would have loved a situation where the Nigerian government will admit, oh, this started as religious killing, but it has gone beyond level of religious killing, even in the previous administration. How can you help us strategically to combat any kind of killing in our country without having any religious coloration? That would have been more statesmanly. That would have been more humane to say than to just go there to go and disagree with the tagging of country of particular concern. Even to us Nigerians, we know that we are people of particular concern. Our leaders are leaders of particular concern. They have failed us. Leadership after leadership, administration after administration have failed Nigerians in their inability to protect lives and properties. They have abandoned the roads. Even when they travel on the road, they go in bulletproof cars. Our leaders, they have abandoned the road to all be flying. Even religious leaders, they all give excuses of tight schedule. They are buying planes because they don't want to travel on Nigerian roads. They are failed us. And this is not peculiar. I keep saying it. It's not peculiar to this administration. But people say it's the law of karma. This is God's vengeance that is being visited on Tinubu's administration. Because so many of these things, when they were happening in previous administration of APC, he did not talk. He did not even support Amatekin. He did not. And when it was going to start, they used insecurity as a weapon to sack Jonathan. They approached the international community, selling the incapability and incompetence of Jonathan's administration to protect lives and property. Now it's happening to him. What has he been able to do? Nothing. It has gone worse, even bad, worse, beyond the level it was during the time of Buhari. Now, they are now raising a delegation to the US. They did not raise a delegation to the US, how you can help us to stop the killing. They are raising a delegation to the US Congress to go and stop them from tagging Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Yes, our news, both online and tabloids, every day are carrying news of terrorism. They are carrying news of killings of pastors. Just yesterday, I saw another video, a man of God confessing that he has witnessed that nothing less than 5,000 pastors have been killed in this country in the past 10 years. Let's assume that's an exaggeration. But where you're claiming 5,000 have been killed, nothing less than 1,000 will have been killed. Let's forget even about their religion. Does anyone deserve to die like that, slaughtered like ram? These are reality. These are videos we can see online. There are videos online. You just need to search and use the proper prompting. It will bring all these things online. And now, Nigeria, no wonder our intelligence is so poor in this country. Because if our delegation cannot first find out what are the evidence and facts before the American Congress, before approaching them, then how do you go with the best of defense? The National Security Advisor, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Inspector General of Police, and the likes went to the US to go and defend case of genocide against Christians, instead of going to go and lobby for assistance. Don't come and invade us, but how can we work together to stop any kind of killing in this country? That would have been more honorable. I will give you some clips, some screenshots from headlines. You will hear what foreign nationals are saying about Nigeria, about genocide in Nigeria. It's so sad. It's so sad. The kind of effort our government puts in killing opposition parties, if they put half of such efforts in eradicating terrorism and killing terrorists, Nigeria would have been the safest place in Africa. But they would rather do everything possible to kill opposition parties rather than kill terrorists, bandits, and insurgents. Tinubu has failed in terms of security and in terms of making life better for Nigerians. He has failed. Until I come back your way, I remain Rotimi Johnson Ojasope. Gotcha. See ya.
Committee held a pivotal hearing on the case for Nigeria's CPC designation last March. Thankfully, President Trump listened, and he made his decision based on two criteria. One, under the International Religious Freedom Act, that these were severe violations of religious freedom, and that the government of Nigeria, President Tinubu, was either actively engaged or tolerating these violations. Those are the criteria of the IRF Act. So Nigeria's multifaceted terror problem that has had a devastating impact on both Muslims and Christians alike is well known, but the long overlooked persecution of Nigeria's Middle Belt Christians by Fulani jihadi militias finally got Washington's attention when that March hearing was held, and Bishop Anagbe testified. The bishop gave startling firsthand testimony that described frequent raids on farmlands of his Makurdi diocese by armed Fulani Muslim herders who kill, rape, or kidnap residents, all the while shouting the jihadi battle cry, Allahu Akbar. Bishop.
The simple fact is radicalized Islamists are running amok in Nigeria. They're terrorizing moderate Muslims, they're terrorizing Christians, and they are targeting Christians. That cannot be disputed. And while we see many people trying to emphasize the outside issues, lifestyle, who owns land, who is the herder, et cetera, they want to emphasize that those are the key drivers, and that they're the key drivers of everything but religion. And I and many others, and I'm not just talking about those of us on this committee or Americans, I'm talking about religious leaders in Nigeria, believe religion is one of, if not the main driver of targeted violence right now. We just heard from Bishop Anagbe. A week and a half ago, I talked to President Magaji. President Magaji is the president of my own, he's the Nigerian president of my own faith sect, the Christian Reformed Church. We have 400,000, mostly from a Dutch background, 400,000 participants and members here in North America between the United States and Canada. We have 500,000 in Nigeria. We are essentially an African church that happens to be headquartered in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I want to ask this question, because this seems to be sort of part of the central argument. Well, this isn't necessary. Well, certainly the Trump administration believed it was necessary the first go around. And I want to ask this question. Did things improve when the Biden administration removed the CPC?
Thank you for your question, Representative Hyde.
And just for the record, I'm seeing a number of heads shaking no, and right behind you. And these are people that may have a little better information than what the American media is, and they're all nodding their head right now. So go ahead.
Thank you for your question, Representative Huizenga. As you mentioned, violence has increased over the last several years. It was unfortunate that the Biden administration chose to remove Nigeria as a CPC in 2021 and 2022 and 2023, and President Trump's bold action to redesignate them is a wake-up call to the Nigerian government. And as you mentioned, extremist religious ideology is, of course, a primary motivator of these attacks. The attackers themselves use religious language. They target churches. They target Christians on holidays.
Yeah, and absolutely. It was Christmas Eve of 2023
Exactly.
when 200 people were murdered, killed in a church. Now, I want to ask this. So one question was, did things improve? I think the answer is no on that. Here's the question. Proportionally, do we see Christians killing Muslims in Christian areas of Nigeria the way that we are seeing radicalized Islamists killing Christians in Muslim areas of Nigeria?
What I can tell you, Representative Huizenga, is that Christians are disproportionately targeted based on their population.
Exactly. And by the way, for those that you can't pick up with the microphones, there's audible yeses behind you. Again, the people that are watching who are nodding their heads. Why? Because they have lived this. Their families have lived this. I went to school with kids from Nigeria. I've got neighbors who've been missionaries there, who have family there, who have friends there, who know this is going on. Yet we've got not just the mass media, we got people within the Congress denying that this is happening, or certainly de-emphasizing it. It ought to be outrageous that it is Christians, moderate Muslims, anyone being terrorized by these radicalized Islamists in Nigeria, and we've got the Tinubu government sitting back and not doing enough. And I recently just was interviewed by Nigerian television, Arise TV, and that was really their question. Is the Tinubu government doing enough? And I had to answer, no, they are not. And I do not understand how a delegation can come here to the United States and downplay and come up with all of these other excuses as to why this is allowed to happen. It should be rejected and should be called out for what it is. And